One quiet evening, as Lindia packed her belongings to leave for university, she came across the worn cloth that had wrapped Mama Cato's gift, the drum. The cloth smelled of smoke, herbs, and something older, something ancestral. She held it close to her chest, and suddenly the room felt full. She heard whispers, not spooky ones. No, these were warm, familiar voices that echoed like rivers in a canyon. Do not forget who you are. Your feet walk into tomorrow, but your shadow follows the wisdom of yesterday. It was the voices of her grandmother, her grandfather, and perhaps even those whose names she never knew. They didn't speak in fear. They spoke in strength, like village elders gathering under the moon to advise a restless king. She remembered the tales Mama Cato told, of talking tortoises, of drums that brought rain, of warriors who spoke to the wind. And now, she understood. Every story held a seed of truth. And she, Lindia, was becoming a tree grown from those seeds. She smiled, even laughed a little. So you're all just going to talk from the beyond without helping me pack, eh? Silence. Aha! Ancestors know how to advise, but not how to fold clothes. A gust of wind blew through the window, fluttering the cloth in her hands. Was it an answer? A laugh? She decided it was both. Lindia packed with renewed energy, knowing she wasn't alone. She had an army of ancestors walking behind her, clapping, singing, and reminding her of her roots. Her journey wasn't just haze. It was a continuation of many journeys, all wrapped in one determined heart. The day Lindia arrived in the city, she stood at the bus park and looked around like a goat trying to read a billboard. The noise, the smells, the cars moved like they were being chased by invisible witches. She clutched her bag tightly, remembering Mama Cato's warning. When you enter the city, do not forget your village manners. Greet the beggar and the businessman the same way. The city does not eat villagers, but pride does. She laughed at the memory, but kept her head high. University was a new jungle, but Lindia had already fought hyenas of gossip and lions of self-doubt. What was a city to a girl who danced with fire? Still, the first few days were tough. She got lost 3 times, mistook the janitor for a lecturer, and tried to pay for a drink with cowrie shells she'd brought for a cultural decoration. The cashier blinked like a confused chicken, but she learned quickly. She joined a student group, started organizing cultural events, and soon became known as the drum girl on campus. Her stories pulled crowds. Her laughter stitched strangers together. And when she played her drum during the university's cultural night, even professors danced like their rent depended on it. Someone once asked her, "How do you carry your village so well in a place like this?" She replied, simple, "I never left it behind." The city didn't swallow her. She fed it stories instead, and slowly it began to listen. By her second year, Lindia had become more than a student. She was a storyteller, a speaker, a bridge between the old ways and the new. Her tales were now being shared in classrooms, festivals, and online platforms. One of her stories had even been adapted into a stage play by drama students. "I hear you're the reason half a city now greets their elders properly again," her friend joked. She laughed. "Don't blame me. Blame the power of a good proverb." Still, Lindia remained humble. She visited home often, walking to Mama Cato's house with a bag of oranges and the latest student gossip. One day, Mama Cato handed her a book. "These are your stories. I've been writing them down." Lindia was stunned. "But I never knew you could write." Mama Cato winked. "A woman who can't read can still remember, and a head full of stories will always find pen." Tears filled Lindia's eyes. "Mama, thank you." The old woman held her hand. "My child, the drum was never meant to be kept on one mat. Let your stories go. Let them grow legs, run, dance, and visit lands we've never seen." And so, Lindia published her first book before graduation. It was titled The Drum That Spoke My Name. It became a favorite in schools across the country. Years later, children would sit under trees and repeat her stories. They would beat their little drums and imitate her voice, sometimes even making it deeper and funnier. Elders would nod and say, "Yes, this is a girl who brought the drum back." But Lindia, now older, still sat by the river when she needed to think. The world had changed, yet the water still flowed the same way. Her children often asked, "Mama, why do you always sit here?" She smiled, "Because the river remembers, and the drum still echoes." She continued to travel, write, and speak. One day, she opened a storytelling school in her village, teaching young ones to preserve their culture through song, dance, and words. The school was called Echoes of the Drum. The drum that once sat silent in her room was now displayed at the entrance, and every student who entered touched it for blessing. Even Mama Cato, now older and slower, still visited and sat with the children, telling stories that made them laugh until their ribs begged for mercy. And when Lindia finally passed into the ancestral realm, the village didn't mourn with only tears. They celebrated with music, stories, and laughter, because they knew, when the drum speaks your name, your story never truly ends. If you enjoyed this story, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button below. Tap the notification bell so you never miss new episodes. And don't forget to like and share if this story touched you. Your support helps us keep bringing you more amazing African tales. See you in the next story